So innovation I'm seeing, Joel might say that's Verge. Whatever we call it, it is multidisciplinary, multi-dimensional in the problem set. And as a result, optimization of that outcome is much more significant. One of the things we learned here, it's about our ability to relate to, in many cases, pre-revenue companies. And that's a challenge. And we're developing those skills. I'd say we also learned that getting more ideas in the funnel has an incredible value proposition. That's terrific, and we did, and we're incredibly excited about the potential. But the real magic, both for these organizations and the agenda that we're all working on, we need to see these technologies implemented and scaled.
Right.
If you leave it at the interesting idea stage, that doesn't happen. There's also a commercial reason for us to want to focus on that. So we, in this process, after the second round, established inside my organization what's called a innovation accelerator. $20 million, and the idea is these ideas and others will be channeled through this organization to say, what is the barrier between your idea and scale? A couple of reasons. One is there is no vehicle to reduce the technology risk, and so fine. Some of these companies, we've put up some money to say, let's go do a pilot with some of our customers. Let's really apply it. Let's reduce the technology risk, and let's move it along. Okay, now we see more opportunity. In one of the instances, a $350 million business by 2015 from almost no revenue today, as an example.
Because I was going to say, when you start out with these little tiny startups, for them to have any impact on a $150 billion company, I imagine the people you work for would say, why are we playing around with this? But some of them you do view as $100 million plus opportunities.
Yeah, this wasn't sort of a cute exercise. This was, we really saw opportunity. And opportunity on our scale generally ends in a B. But you have to have a physical and a process to say, I'm going to help you through this. And we bring what they are interested in, management experience in these spaces that can help facilitate that. Okay. And global distribution to say, boom.
There's certainly a narrative out there about if we don't act on climate and water and food, there's a kind of apocalyptic version of how the world is all going to go down the tubes. But what there isn't is really an exciting alternative version of if we get things right, what the world would look like. And I wonder if you've thought about that. Does GE have a vision that people could say, wow, that's what you mean by a green economy, we like that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'd be quite arrogant to speak for the world. If I could just speak for my little part of it, I think where you end up, and I spend much more time on the glass half full than I do the glass half empty. It's just much more motivating. I think you end up with an organization that is relevant and resilient. Relevant because you're responding to the reality of the world out there that says, you can't just deal with me in a purely economic transactional manner. You have to deal with me in the world that I live in, and that world requires significant natural resource productivity from where we were. I think we'll be a much better partner with the ecosystems that's required to get from here to there, whether that be NGO, governments, academia. And I think we'll have demonstrated great leadership. That fundamentally is what ecomagination is about. It's starting from the belief that climate change is real, followed quickly by, these are $1.5 trillion markets we're talking about. And although we're proud of our $21 billion this year in that space, if you do the math, it doesn't even add. And so then throw on top of that, it's what a great and good company should do.